Hey everyone, welcome to the Practical Dad Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Fitchett. I'm so excited about this podcast. I'm looking forward to the future, to the interviews that we're going to have, to the people we're going to bring in, just to the topics we're going to have. This is a podcast from really the Christian worldview and the practical things that we can do as fathers to love our children and for our children to be able to see that God loves them. And so I want to begin today with an illustration. So our first episode, let's get into the reasons of why does this podcast even exist? How can it be useful for you as an individual father of your children, or maybe just as a friend who has other friends that are fathers that you could help them. And so let me begin with this story or illustration. I want you to imagine a father, or imagine maybe you had a father, maybe you didn't, but imagine that you did have a father, and that your father came to you, you're 5 years old, and he says, "Hey, you need to tie your shoes." And he begins to tell you, he just goes into this big long spiel of, if you don't tie your shoes, you're going to trip on your shoelaces, you're going to hurt yourself, you're going to fall, your shoes are going to be loose, you're not going to be able to run around and have fun and play, you're going to look kind of weird around the school as your shoelaces are flopping everywhere, you might hurt someone else. You need to tie your shoes. It's important that you tie your shoes. Anytime your shoes are untied, make sure you tie them. And as a 5-year-old, you're looking at your father saying, "Okay, I understand now that my shoes need to be tied. It's important, but," and here it comes, "I don't know how to tie my shoes." And I feel like that's what we get into with fathering. It's like we get taught even from like our pastor, and I'm a pastor, but from our pastors and from other teachers and from people like telling us what needs to be done. Like, you need to be a good father. You need to be a great father. And it's like, okay, I understand that, but I don't know how that looks. I don't know practically how to do that. And so, like, again, going back to that illustration, if your father was telling you that to tie your shoes, but he never taught you how, like, it defeats the whole purpose of what he was saying. What he needs to teach us, the reason why we need to tie our shoes, but then he needs to get down and show us, like, okay, son, these are, or daughter, whoever, these are the two strings. You cross them over, you put them, under, and then he explains how to do it. He shows you how, and he walks with you through it out. I don't think that we've done a really good job as the church teaching fathers how to be dads practically. We say, go pray with your kids. Well, I don't know how it looks to pray with my kid because I never had a father teach me how to pray or show me what it looks like to pray or read the Bible with your kid. What do you mean read? What do I read? How do I explain it? All these sorts of things. We're not just going to focus in on like family worship or Bible. We're going to look at practical things of what does it look like to throw the ball with your child, or to teach them how to comb their hair, the conversations that you have. And so I think this is going to be a fantastic podcast. It's so helpful. If anything, it's going to be helpful for me to kind of clear my thoughts and to challenge myself. As I was already preparing for the next few episodes, I just looked at my life and had to do an examination and was like, wow, these are some really good topics. And how do I apply them better, or how do I begin to apply them in my own life? And so very excited about this podcast. I hope you are. Just wanted to use this first episode to kind of introduce to you what we're about to get into. If you have questions as a father and like that you want more information on, go ahead. Would you send that to the Practical Dad Podcast at gmail.com? Again, that's the Practical Dad Podcast at gmail.com, or just send in a comment about what you like or what you're looking forward to. We want to answer questions and dive into areas and topics that are useful to you. And so if you'll just do that, that'll help us better address the topics that we look at in the next few weeks. And again, if you're enjoying this podcast, would you go ahead and recommend it to another father or to another friend? We want as many fathers on here as possible. We want to help each other out. And I think this is going to be a great opportunity for fathers to learn how to love their children in a practical way. All right, everyone. With that said, this is going to be wrapping up our first episode. Thanks for tuning in with us.